just keeps getting better and better each week, boys. We are back, baby. How are we, boys? It's nice to see you all again. Just before we start, we have got a bit of a new format for all of our listeners. So we're going to try and be a little bit more upbeat and a little bit more light-hearted, because it's a load of mates sitting together talking about the thing we love, West Ham. We know we got a bit negative last year. It wasn't a great season. There's been a good couple of seasons, and we're not going to sit here singing Kumbaya all of a sudden, but we are going to do it a bit different. We're going to make it more of a TV show. We're going to have, coming up on today, we are going to talk about pre-season, what's happening at the club. There's a lot happening in the club at the moment. Then we're going to go backwards a little bit and talk about our favourite ever summer signings. And then we're going to have a little segment on away days, which will be a regular segment on our thing about things we love about away days, because they are the best thing in the world. And then we're going to finish with a little general chat about football. So, further ado, here is Addy, Gary, Mickey, the stars of the show. How are we all? Have you been having a good summer?
I've had an indifferent summer, mate. I've obviously had a very good pre-season, mate. Yeah. It's been quite, because obviously we speak every day, us boys, don't we? And we followed the World Cup, and I quite enjoyed that. There were moments where I thought this was an amazing World Cup, other times where I thought, maybe not so good, but I know a couple of you boys went over, didn't you?
We did, and we're going to get that today. Me and Addy last saw each other in Mexico City, and we're going to get onto that later for our away day special. We're going to give a bit of insight into that, because it was some experience when it had.
Amazing.
I bet.
Yeah.
It was the best. And I don't want to talk about it yet, because there's going to be a segment on it later. Before we start, though, I want to ask you all a question. When you go to a restaurant, do you see this water pouring like I see all over the world?
I knew it's going to be that.
Mate, honestly, I've just got back from a restaurant. The amount they charge for these bottles of water, I'm in Ibiza at the moment while I'm recording this. It is the first thing you sit down, you get a water Nazi that, hello, do you want how much bottles do you want? They're 400 grand each, And then they have to pour it. But heaven help if you ask that person for an alcoholic drink, because that's not his job. No, I'm just the waterman. Are you seeing the same things across the world?
Do you know what it is, mate? They'll go, do you want a drink? And I go, I don't drink alcohol at the moment. I'll have water. And they go, tap water. And then that makes you feel guilty. And you go, no, I'll have a bottle. That's what they do.
Yeah, it does.
Don't they? They go, oh, tap water. Shit, no, I better have a bottle.
Well, no word of a lie, I swear on my life, that I went into a restaurant last night. Actually, the restaurant was called Sacapella in Ibiza. It was fantastic. It's an old church. So we're in there, we sit down, and the woman first, obviously, thing she says is about the water. And Chris, my mate, said yes, whatever. And she said, pardon? I thought you said tap. She said, we do not serve that here. Like that. And I went, and she actually made a point. We didn't say yes. And I was thinking, you snotty cow. What is this thing? Obviously, they're selling the water. But the new thing is, bread baskets are now being sold. Yeah. Look on your bills when you go into a restaurant, and you will see a bread basket in a lot of restaurants being added to the bill. Anyway, there's my rant. I just wanted to see if you were seeing that as well.
Well, you're not allowed to be.
Addy, what did you think? Addy, what did you think about the tipping in America?
I didn't do it. No. Do you know what? I think it was included in the bills, mostly. I don't remember because I was looking out for the tipping because everyone said, like, when you go to America, the tipping's rife. You've got a tip and stuff. I looked out for it quite a lot, but I think a lot of it was included in the bills. If it was, I always ask. I remember you used to call me a tight. You see, it's Tuesday. Back in the day when I didn't use the tip, so now I always ask about tipping.
Now he's on the big dollars.
I don't know about that. But no, honestly, I didn't think it was too bad while I was there. I didn't think it was too bad.
The bit that gets me is when they flip the screen over like that, and it's just like it's 20. It used to be 10, 15, 20. Now it's in America, it's like 20, 25, 30. You're like, I've just asked you for a drink. You've not done anything. I'm not being tight here, but I want a bit of service. Maybe you could juggle or something for me.
No, do you know, actually, speaking of which, I was at the fan park in Atlanta. I completely forgot. I must have so much money. I forgot about this. But yeah, when you go to get a drink, like you just go to get a drink, and then they turn the screen round and say like a tip, and you feel.
And
like,
if you hit no tip, you're staring eye to eye. You know, like it's like they basically look at you and go, "You fucking arsehole."
So like you give them another, like you give them 10% or whatever, and you just think, why?
What have I done it for?
How have you got the audacity to even ask?
Yeah.
But I forgot about
Right,
that.
let us know in the comments
because
because what you think about this tipping. Are we wrong? Are we tight? Or thinking? But let me tell you, that World Cup, we'll get onto it, but it weren't a cheap ride to go there, was it?
No.
It was outright. In actual fact, we'll leave this till the end because we're going to have a little feature at the end on sort of this around this. I want to get into, obviously, the main deal while we're here is West Ham United. Now, we'll get into pre-season next, but there's a lot going on at the club at the minute. We've got one owner who's sanctioned from the club, one owner that has said he was buying a load of shares and taking it over, who never done anything, and now this new lady who wants to do it all as well. It's going to be a rocky old road for West Ham in a minute. I can't say I'm not a bit excited though at it. Firstly, let's talk about the takeover talks. Let's start with you, Mick. Who would you like to see?
Amanda Stavely, personally.
Why?
Because I just look. You've got to Kretinsky. You've got that Trip Smith. Brand's still on the ball. Did you know that? Tevez Brand.
Yeah,
he's only got
about
about 1% or 2%, but he's still on. They've been there for 10 to 16 years, and it's been the same for the last 10 to 16 years. Not one of them has stood up and been like, "No, this club's run shoddily. Let's deal with it." I don't trust none of them, so I'd rather someone just one person come in, get rid of it, and just have the one person at the helm that makes all the decisions, and then no one can say, "Oh, well, that person wanted that one wanted," because that's all we've heard for years. It was years ago. It was, "Well, Gold didn't want that manager. Sullivan wanted him. Brady wanted that one," and it's ridiculous.
That is quite a fair point, actually. We have had a lot of that. Ad, you are on a bit of a different path to us, maybe. What are you thinking?
No, I mean, after, the Sullivan debacle, I just want a bit of stability. I definitely want a bit of stability. And I think Kretinsky will give us that. I think he will run the club properly. I think it will be a kind of no thrills, exercise with him, but it will be solid. Will be run well. We'll probably do all right. However, the more I think about it, Stavely to me is the dream. It's the chance for us to become a top club. And who knows where that goes. It's like, rolling the dice for a gamble. And I'm up for the gamble.
To be honest with you, Amanda Stavely, I've got to give her a credit. She's not much of a gamble. She's had 2 absolute home runs. Manchester City and what they've done there, and Newcastle. Now, let's not forget, what she's done at Newcastle is fantastic. It's actually, they are so hamstrung by these laws that need changing in PSR rules that they can never compete with City. And Villa and anyone else. So we'd be in the same position as that. But we have to remember where Newcastle were. They were relegated. They hated their owner. And Newcastle fans, I know at the minute they're not happy because they're having to sell all their players, but I think they're not unhappy at how the club is being run, if that makes sense. I haven't heard any Newcastle fans say, get the owners out.
Get the owners out, yeah.
And actually, I haven't heard many moan about these PSR rules, which are completely unfair to the game now. They do need changing, don't they? Because you cannot compete with... for someone who doesn't understand, probably just quickly explain this. What PSR does, you're only allowed to spend what you bring in the club and things like that, of your profits and things like that. So obviously people say, well, how did City do it? Well, City did it exactly what anyone would do by buying a load of big players on big wages and then winning and becoming a global. You only become a global entity by winning or having
bigger players,
the big name players, your Jude Bellinghams, your Mbappe's and people like that. Now, you can't just do it with one. You need to go and do 8 players all getting mega money being paid over the top to then be able to get into it and do it. PSR stops you doing that, so you'll never get them big players in, or you might get them in for a season or so, and then you've got to get rid of them because you never got a chance to actually grow the club. So it's just not fair, is it? But sorry, we've gone off track there with Amanda Staveley. Gal, what's your views on the takeover?
I agree with Mickey in a way that I want some fresh blood. So, you know, I think I've said it on it before, but, you know, it's the older, you know, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you always got. Nothing's going to change. I think, obviously, Kretinsky has had X amount of years to buy the gold shares and hasn't, and all of a sudden Staveley's come in and he wants to do all kinds. So that's a little bit frustrating. I think the most frustrating thing for me at the moment is the timing of it all. So we've just been relegated. We're preparing for pre-season. We're trying to bring players in, letting players go, and this has all come in. I personally think this is maybe what slowed down some of the signings, because who's sanctioning it? You know, someone's looking
if Kretinsky doesn't know if he owns it, does he want to be putting a load of money into
exactly? But if you wave the magic wand and I woke up tomorrow, I'd like Staveley to be in charge.
Yep. Okay. I do agree with Addy that I do think Kretinsky will probably be a safe pair of hands. I do think, and Staveley, both of them are opportunists, and it's probably the best time you're going to get West Ham. David Sullivan's on his knees, almost. And West Ham's at a lower price, and I think that's what interested Kretinsky. Now, what it shows is Kretinsky's never, ever wanted to be in sole charge of the club because he's got to then spend the money to buy these shares at a higher price, which was agreed years ago. And he's not willing to do it. So then it kind of look and go, what are they in?
You in or you out? You in it or you out?
I do think they're both probably looking at it. It's a very cheap land deal. And I would think Amanda Staveley is also looking at it, going, they've just sold 52,000 season tickets in the Championship. These have got a very good base that we could go work with. Very similar to Newcastle in a way. But yeah, it's interesting. Transfer news. We obviously haven't had much over the summer. There's talk at the moment of this Troy Parrott. That's getting me a little bit excited, I've got to say. Is that someone you boys would like? 30 goals in a season?
Can't knock it.
Young?
Yeah, I mean, over the past few seasons, he's been fantastic when he's gone abroad.
He was at Spurs, wasn't he?
He was at Spurs. And in the early years, he had quite a few loans where he wasn't scoring goals for anyone, which is a bit worrying because he hasn't scored really goals in England. But when he's moved abroad, like last season, he was, it's fantastic. He was prolific.
30 goals in any league is good.
Yeah, so you'd think on paper it would look like a really, really good signing, but the West Ham curse with strikers. But no, on paper it does look.
We're staying positive, Ed. We're not talking about it anymore.
Out of the strikers that are out there, I think it would be a good signing for us. I really do.
I know fans are frustrated, all of us, with the lack of business. I think what we've got to look at, though, on a positive, we have kept this team together. Now, I was kind of thinking, is that a positive? Because they went down and things like this. But when I look through it on paper, it's a very strong team. Now, I know we are lacking in some areas, which we'll come on to pre-season, things like that. But when you look at that side, you kind of, if you said on the day we were relegated, this is the team you're going to start the first Championship with. These are the players in your squad at your disposal. I think we'd have gone, yeah, I love that. Because Tati is a major coup, I think, we're talking about Troy Parrott. I think Tati, keeping him, he's going to be a very good champion.
He'll get double figures. Easy.
I think so.
But you've got to think he'll get double figures.
Done well for us.
Bowen to get double figures. So you're talking there's potentially over 20 goals between them two. Do you know what I mean?
Souček will get double figures.
he probably will do in the Championship. He'll probably get between 10 and 15, I reckon. But I think Bowen and Tatty will get closer to the 20s, if not over the 20s, between them.
Yeah.
Like each, sorry.
I wouldn't disagree with that as well, Gal. If obviously James Ward-Prowse is staying, because obviously with that aerial power of Souček and Mavropanos, with someone who can actually cross the ball in James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
Now, in actual fact, let's go on to pre-season. Unbeaten in pre-season, barely conceded goals, hasn't been that exciting, and there definitely has been cause for concern over some of the games. I'm not going to lie, but there has been positives as well. I think the defending, for one, has been a lot better. Stevenage, for me, I thought we were fantastic. We looked like Brazil at points, and I thought Nuno's going for it this year. Every ball in that Stevenage game was forward. It was brilliant, it was. And then at Rangers, and then the last one, it was back to old usual proceedings. Ed, what are you seeing?
Nuno ball.
Yeah.
But what a goal by Kilman.
Yeah, good finish, wasn't it? The Stevenage game was really positive, actually. But even in that game, I still think that the kids probably done better than the first team did in the second half. The way they moved the ball that much quicker than the first team did, it's quite nice to see. But yeah, no, positives wise, we look solid. And I think going into the season, I think that's what we're going to have to rely on, being solid and nicking goals until we get the players who can create and score. I think, we're going to have to rely on being solid, nicking 1-0 victories, because we've got,
and would you be upset with that, really? Like, I
not
know we
ideal.
want to be entertained. Like, we all want to be entertained. We want to have fun.
It's not ideal, is it? But this season is all about getting promoted.
It's a slog season of that is it, isn't it? If we can get promoted, if we can say today, right, you can take promotion, but it's not going to be pretty. I'm pretty certain all of us take it.
We'll take it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I do think fans are going to have to be patient this season with it. I think we'll go with the way Nuno's doing it for a while, and then I've got a feeling he's going to unrelease the handbrake. I've just got this feeling that he's going to have a bit more. I think the fans are going to get on his back in the Championship if he's playing very negative all the time.
Do you think Saturday is going to tell us or give us any insights as to what the league campaign might look like? Or do you think that this Saturday against Portsmouth isn't in any way going to reflect how we're going to play in the league? Because I'm excited to watch it, but at the same time, I'm like, what is it going to give us much?
Yeah, the problem we've got is it's the unknowns of who's leaving still. And that's just, clubs are going to wait time to pick us off with that and hopefully get a cheaper deal. That I think is probably what's happening. But with so many players unknown, we don't know if any of their futures. So we don't know Mavropanos still, really. Like, he hasn't said he's staying. If a big offer came in, is he for sale? Tati, if someone came in. And then you've got your Todibo, Fulkrug, Alvarez,
Wan-Bissaka,
Ward-Prowse,
Areola,
like Wan-Bissaka, Malik Diouf. Like, there's a lot of uncertainty. So in answer to your question, I don't think we are going to know, because I think we're going to know who's going to be there. I was just going to say, and how seriously are we going to take the League Cup as well? Obviously, the league campaign starts the week after. Are we going to go full strength in this first round of the League Cup? Do we, as fans, actually care that much about? Obviously, we want to go to a game and enjoy it, and obviously, we want West Ham to win. But are we? I'd like us to see us take us serious.
Yeah,
I can't see Nuno not taking his sit, because he cannot afford to get off to a bad start. So I don't think he will.
Agree.
I don't think he can afford it. So I'd like to see us go.
We'll turn toxic over there quite quick this year.
Yeah, I do.
People have put up with it last year, and then kind of they're frustrated they haven't got signings. They're frustrated at the board. The madness that I saw the other day is that Sullivan might be attending the games, and he's been warned not to, and apparently he's going to. that would be the most ill-advised thing he will ever do. Because
madness.
it was toxic. It will be absolutely awful from minute one. And that we've got all that rubbish going on as well. So
we've
I think
almost
he has got to start.
it almost feels like he's gone, and there's a little bit of a feel-good factor, like when Mike Ashley left. Even though nothing's signed yet, for us, he's dead, isn't he, really? But if he comes back, it's going to be a little bit like, I thought we were past all this. And I think it will bring negativity.
Why does he need to?
Well,
I just can't understand why.
He'll get dogs abuse. He will get dogs abuse. And do you know what? I hope for him and his family that just doesn't happen. You know, like no one needs all that. The fans don't need it. They don't need it. It's just don't put yourself in a position where it's going to happen. Because then if West Ham start losing, it will turn sour over there very quickly.
Yeah, I'm with Mick on that as well, and I do think Nuno's not going to have a lot of time if it's not going right. The fans will be on him because football still not, it hasn't been great since he arrived. And if we start, we're not getting wins, he could be gone in 5 games, I think.
Yeah.
Could be, but then he could be top of the league as well. So we got Roman as the latter.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're a positive, uplifting podcast. One positive from pre-season, each of us. What's your biggest positive?
For me, the defending. I think prior to the late Germany goal, we'd only let one in pre-season, and that was a penalty against Southend. So I mean, that's got to be good, hasn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a good one, Gal. What about you, Ed?
I could see Mick scratching around.
Mick's like,
it's killing him.
No, I do have a positive, but go on, Ed.
Yeah.
That was your age test this week, wasn't it, Mick?
Let's not go there yet. No, I'm joking.
I think I'm going to go with, obviously Gal's touched on the defence, but I'm going to go with Max Kilman as...
No, you beat me to mine. That was mine as well.
Because I just think he's done well in pre-season so far. And, and if he can get his confidence back and get anywhere near where he used to be as a player, I think it's a huge, bonus for us this season.
Well, Mavropanos turned it around last year when everyone... He was never a fan's favourite, let's be honest. And he turned it around. Let's hope Kilman can this year. That was mine as well. I think he has been near perfect in these games. So I think that was positive. Mick, have you got anything to add to this?
I like how the youth... I know, obviously, the first team or the first team players, there ain't many of them. But I've liked how we've used a lot of the youth in every game so far this pre-season, because I do think if they're gonna make a breakthrough this year, having a good pre-season and minutes and playing regularly in pre-season will massively help them. Like Orford, at one point he was going to go Villa. Villa badly wanted him when we nearly signed Durant. That's who they wanted. They wanted Orford off of us. So I'd like to see him start to get some really good minutes this year, and I think pre-season will really help him. I really do. So that's a positive for me.
He's technically quite nice to look at, isn't he?
Yeah.
Where he passes the ball, and there's something in Lewis Orford, and I do actually think sometimes it is you just need to play a bit of games and make some mistakes. That is the thing. Right, we're moving on to our next section, the away day diaries. So every week we're going to be looking at an aspect of an away day. Now, me and Addy probably had the most ultimate away day in football, and probably will never experience something ever like it again. In the World Cup this summer, we went to Mexico City to see that England-Mexico game. Addy, sum up how special it was.
Yeah, even now when I think about it, it feels quite surreal. I mean, obviously I was lucky you helped me out with...
Explain that bit at the beginning, because this was brilliant, because you explain it.
Getting a ticket. Well, yeah, I mean, I knew Sam was in town. I knew he had a ticket to go and watch the game. I was just going to go and see him at his hotel before he went off. I was going to go and find a pub and watch it like with the England fans. But I went to see him, and this was literally about 3 hours before kickoff.
Yeah, it was 3 p.m. We were leaving at 3 p.m. and you turned up at about 2:55, I think it was. So it was about 5
I think I
minutes
messaged you just saying, if you're still there, just going to come.
That's exactly what.
Because I haven't seen you yet. And when I got there, he was like, well, let me see if I can, speak to a few people, see if I can get a ticket. Clearly, I was thinking, like, there's absolutely no chance. I've been trying for about 2 weeks.
And to put it in context, these tickets were so expensive.
Yeah.
Like, but the face values of these tickets were $2,000. So that is, like, that's what the piss take was. And we'll get onto that at the end of this show, because we're going to talk about that a little bit. But then, so they were not cheap. So it wasn't easy to find a ticket, was it? That wasn't $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
Yeah, I mean, there was part of me was thinking, actually, if you do get one, it cost me. I'm gonna have to mortgage my house to pay for it. So maybe don't bother. But yeah, in the end, obviously, Sam come up trumps, got me a ticket, and amazingly, he got it for me at face value, which I could not believe.
Well, less than what I said there, because these were actually friends and family tickets. They were at a less value. So he played a third of what I paid.
Wow.
He had the best result ever. But it was that, because that started, the reason why I say that started the buzz of it. Because then Addy's literally in a t-shirt and shorts, because he's going back to his hotel, but he hasn't got time now. So we went upstairs, got your jacket, didn't we? Because it was pissing down with rain. Like, if you remember, that game got delayed, didn't it? So that all was part of it, the going on the train. And do you remember how civil it was on the train, Ad?
Yeah. And it's weird because out of the train, out in the streets and everything, it was carnage with the Mexican fans. They were, blowing their horns, banging their drums and stuff. It was like carnival outside. But on the train, it was so civil. And we did wonder why that was, wouldn't we? We couldn't understand why no one was making any noise on the train. But
they said it's just out of respect. They just said,
thought the ICF had got them.
Yeah. Out of respect for me.
They thought Eddie was Cash Pennant. I did hear one Mexican say he's a lot smaller in person, isn't he?
Micro.
Funny enough, I want to give a shout out to Cash Pennant today. Weirdly, he popped up on my feed and he had a couple of West Ham hats that I posted on the Instagram, and I bought a West Ham bucket hat off it. I thought it was lovely. It was. I thought, it looks so good. So I bought one off of his website. So if you want to have a look at some stuff, he had it on there. I didn't even follow him. It just popped up on my page. Obviously West Ham, things like that. And I followed it. So it was good. Yeah, good stuff. But then the game, obviously we had a delay in it, didn't we? It was an hour delay. But when it started, it was magical, wasn't it? Like,
what was the noise
game, Ad? You've got to remember that it was 95% Mexican supporters in there.
Yeah.
There was only about 3,000 English, weren't there, Ed? And all Mexicans in the English area as well. So we thought there was going to be loads of trouble, but you couldn't have had trouble in there if you tried, really, could you? They were so gracious. And it was, do you know what? I like the needly side of football. Like, I do like it. I like horrible chants. I like that feeling of violence that's around. Sorry.
I agree.
Rivalry.
Yeah, no, but you know that fear of, going down the wrong alley. I don't mean I like actual violence. I've never got into fights in football or anything like that in my life. But I love that feeling about football. That is football to me. And
pure rivalry.
You kind of don't see it. And it is. And, better not put colours on today, like when you're going on an away day and all that.
Get the colours on.
And it was worrying at first with Mexico. Everyone thought it was going to be like really bad. And when they were all in the area, we were like, oh, fuck me. If we win here, this is going to be terrible. But honestly, we cheered when we scored. And then me and Addy were like the last people on the row before the Mexico fans. We were literally they were touching distance. After we scored, we cheered and done it in their faces and all that. They leant over and went, cheers. Well done. Great. And then when they scored, they done it back, threw a beer at us. But then we shook their hands. And then afterwards, when we'd beat them, they were singing Wonderwall with us. And the amount of people swapping shirts was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it was like a carnival. I can't explain it. it was just the nicest football game. And I think anyone who was ever there, say you've an English and a Mexican, you was met on holiday or something like that, and you were both there, you're the only two people that will ever understand what it actually was.
I was saying, I watched it. I woke Owen up, and then obviously it was a delay for another hour. So he's like, I could have had another hour. But we watched it, and to watch that with my son, I said, this is like, without being there, this is my greatest night. This is my greatest night in football. Do you know, it was amazing. I loved it. It was so good.
Addy's a big England fan, and I never have been. Like, I like us in the tournaments. I went to the Germany tournament for the month years ago and enjoyed it, but not as I'm not a massive England fan. I've come away from that World Cup massive England fan, and I cannot wait. I know we're playing Spain in Madrid in November, I believe, and I really fancy going to that. And it's a Nations League. Like, if I lived in England, I would definitely be on that bandwagon with you now, because
can you get tickets?
As a West Ham fan, it's almost like the
For me.
it's like going on the European run again, isn't it? So you get to see all them
Yeah.
shitty countries and things like that, which, not Spain's a shit go, I mean, like, but you get to see all them random countries and places that you wouldn't go, which is what we loved about the West Ham European run, wasn't it?
My biggest takeaway from the World Cup is I've never been a Jude Bellingham fan. I've never understood the hype. I've never got it.
Jesus, immense.
And then now, I love him. He's my favourite player. Like, I've just like, he is, and I don't know. I mean, I don't think he has always been consistent, has he? And maybe some of the games.
I disagree. I think he has. I'm a massive Jude Bellingham fan, and I see. And do you know what? I do look now, and I did think this, right? There has to be a tinge of racism with it. And I don't want to go this podcast down this way. And I'm saying this from even my own thing, right? If any other superstar, like if we had let's just say Harry Kane was at Real Madrid, right, at 22 years of age, there is no way that every one of us wouldn't go, that is the guy. Like, he's playing for Real Madrid. Look at him. Like, and why we haven't all done that with Jude Bellingham is a little bit weird, to be honest with you.
So
because he's, and I, do you know what? And I think all of us have all gone, yeah, like, how did we not have all our kids in Bellingham shirts? You know, like before, like my boys did have it in the last Euros, but you kind of like, you're looking at it thinking, we were talking about this boy at the start of the tournament of not going.
Yeah, we were.
Right? And there has to be a tinge of racism with that. There has to be, because you would not do that with any other. No one questions should Harry Kane go to the World Cup.
No, but I think the media have been a bit negative with him in terms of his off-field attitude and stuff, and I think people have got a preconceived perception of him, and perhaps that's what I had subconsciously. But now I've seen him.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Yeah, but I think he's just incredible. He's first on the team sheet.
This World Cup will completely change everything. Not in my eyes, 'cause I've always loved Bellingham, but I think it will completely change. I think the media will be completely different towards him.
But for how long? That's the thing. How long? He'll do something wrong.
He can't do nothing wrong in my eyes. I love the needle he's got inside of him. I love how, that interview that he had.
It was the best.
Was
it was
Gabriel
brilliant.
Clark, weren't it? When he come out and that Gabriel Clark said, the manager said, don't care. Like, I love it about him. I love everything called that about him. Doesn't care.
Wasn't it after the Mexico? No, it was after the Norway game, wasn't it? When he said,
he said they need to do better.
He said, does he know how hard it is to play in that heat? And Ad.
Yeah.
I know you weren't at Norway, were you, Ad?
No.
My God, it was honestly the heat on that game.
Was it Miami?
Miami.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was sweating from my eyeballs. And you've never been hotter going to that game than anywhere else.
We should have gone.
It was impossible to play in that game. Absolutely impossible. Like, so he was right in it, but we all love that needle. Anyway, we're getting off. That was our away day, Mexico. Next week, another away day story. Maybe we'll talk about the time when Addy was carted out of Bolton nightclub with his arms, by his arms and legs, while singing chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chim.
I'm not
With a
quite
broom.
sure whether Sam wants to reveal.
Oh no! I've just remembered what else happened that day as well.
I think we've heard it.
Away day.
I wasn't
the
actually. Yeah, now I've just remembered. Addy wasn't the embarrassment that night. I was. Right, moving swiftly on. Hammer home, our next section. So in this section, we're going to always pick something nostalgic to go look back on. Because we got so much fun stuff in West Ham. In actual fact, we got more fun stuff than most clubs, haven't we? Because we've always been a shit show. Our fans are raving lunatics like us. And everything about us is crazy, isn't it? So it's great. This one, I wanted something to discuss. Summer signings. Obviously, we're in the summer at the moment, and we've made one, Veltman, free transfer, 34-year-old, blinder. Who was not our best ever summer signing, because we could go on to all our best players. Which one did you go, as he signed, oh, wow, I cannot wait for this one? Like, Gal, we'll start with you.
I think we talked about it earlier, and I said we've had so many amazing players that have turned out to be good, but quite often when we sign players in the summer, I don't know who they are. I mean, I didn't really know who Payet was, if I'm honest. So I
didn't either.
No, so I always get more excited about when you know what you're going to get. So we've got a habit of re-signing players, haven't we? Your Joe Coles, your Tony Gotti. But back in 1994, we re-signed Julian Dicks. And I was heartbroken when he left for Liverpool. Gutted for him that it didn't work out there, but so pleased for us that he came back. So in terms of getting excited at the news that he had signed, for me, I think that was the one. But, you know, we've had so many good players. So, I mean, you know, you can even go back to Carlos Tevez that ended up being good for the last 10 games. Yeah. But at the time of being signing, there was so much.
See, that was an exciting one when he signed, because people knew that they were. That one was like.
Yeah, that was my one, actually.
Exactly, but it never really worked out.
Would you say, Gal, is Julian Dicks your favourite ever player?
No, Billy Bonds probably. Billy Bonds or Trevor
you're slightly
Brooking.
a bit older than us. So you're that era where Julian Dicks is by far my number one player. Like I idolised Julian Dicks as a kid. Like I never had anyone else on a shirt. Actually, one other person, and Addy knows who it was.
Who was it?
That I had on a shirt.
I only had one as well.
Oh yeah.
I only ever had one other person.
Go on.
And it was Paolo Futre.
Oh yeah.
I had him on my show as well, Mick.
I had him, mate. He was outstanding, obviously, before he come to us.
But that was another one where people got excited about Paolo Futre.
But he was done, wasn't he? But he was done.
Done. He was. I think he was done 20 years earlier. Like the
thing is with Julian Dicks, right? No one ever says a bad word about Julian Dicks, and I think it's because as blokes, Julian Dicks is the player that we all think we would have been if
would have loved to been. Yeah.
I mean, I sent some tackles across.
People forget how, but we go straight to his tackles. But I always think of Julian Dicks.
He could play.
As his passing, his long range passing was absolutely phenomenal. And he should have gone to Euro 96. He should have gone to Euro 96.
100%.
He should have got that cap. He should have been capped.
Yeah, and it was a shame because obviously they looked at him as thuggish. When you think there now, the shaved head stopped him playing for England. Like imagine that now. Like people would laugh that now, wouldn't they?
I reckon that's why I've never been capped.
Well, he never got it. I thought you had a swimming cap on. Mick, who's your summer signing?
Do you know what? I said this earlier on, but I've actually got two, and I can't choose between them. But one of them was Song. When we signed Song,
he was good for us.
How we got him. Oh, and the other one for me, I knew about him. Yeah. I knew about him before we signed him as well, but it was only due to, and as well, I remember Joe Cole talking about him just as it come about that we signed him, and he was paying. The geezer was just an absolute magician. He's probably. I love Di Canio, and
he's probably my favourite player I've ever watched. For a season.
Yeah, he was absolutely at that time. At that particular time, he was probably world class when he was at West Ham. He was
a Ballon d'Or nominee, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He came third in the Ballon d'Or that year.
He come quite high.
He come in the Ballon d'Or nominee. Yeah,
he come quite high. But probably
good.
I can't choose between those two, to be fair, because they really did
excite me.
No, I mean, I love Payet. I can't speak highly enough of him. Absolutely love it. I didn't really know much about him before he signed, though, so I wasn't that excited. But I do remember going to I was at his first game, Arsenal away, and even then, I think he got an assist in that. But everything he'd done, I was like,
that was the Reece Oxford game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
He set up Kouyaté.
But just during the game, I was just thinking, like, who is this geezer? He was unbelievable. But yeah, so he's my favourite summer signing. But no, I was going to go back to Tevez. Tevez was the one that I was most excited about. I thought, I was, this big Argentinian superstar.
That was like such news, wasn't it? Like when it broke.
It was such a
like
coup, wasn't it?
Seeing them on the back page of the paper, both of them, and people
all in the papers.
How the hell have West Ham got these two players? Was like, I then didn't play him. Played him left wing. Anyway, that's another story. If you're a young fan, we've done some very stupid things at this club. That actually was probably the biggest.
How Aidan Mullins kept Mascherano at the team, I'll never know.
Yeah. Do you know who I was going to say? And I actually think you're right with Tevez and actually Julian Dicks. I like them both, but there was one that I was really excited for at the time, and he didn't quite live up to his bill. And it was Craig Bellamy.
I knew he was going to say that. I was going to put it in the chat earlier today. I was going to say, does it begin with B? But I didn't want you to say, because I know you didn't want to say it.
I loved Bellamy.
It was Craig Bellamy. And do you know what? I looked today, and he only played 24 times for West Ham over 2 years.
Did he really?
He had an injury. And I always remember it. He just got fit and started.
We sold him,
and he was sold.
Yeah.
And Bellamy, I really liked him, and he didn't have a bad time at the club. He just was unlucky with an injury, and then actually went on to have the best part of his career from West Ham. Yeah, I know he
loved West Ham.
He always talked so fondly about. And actually, I was looking on Wikipedia earlier because I wanted to see how many. Because I was quite sure he didn't play that long for us, and he also. West Ham wanted to sell him, but they wanted him to put a transfer request in, and he refused to do it. And his move was so prolonged, where he said, "Actually, I just want to sign a new deal." I think it was Magnus, wasn't it?
No, Magnuson bought him. Eggert bought him. Sullivan was the one that sold him because he tried to get a bidding war between Man City and Spurs.
You're right. That's it, and that's what it was. And Spurs actually had him. Which was funny. I was reading it on that thing. But yeah, anyway, they're my ones. I like your ones. We're going to do more nostalgia every week. I like that little...
He's actually the best player I've ever played with. I know you can't believe it's not you, Sam, but...
Craig Bellamy?
I used to play with Craig Bellamy back in the day. Him and Rob.
Oh, yeah, Norwich, of course. You was at Norwich, weren't you?
In the good old days. So, and he let me take a free kick once. It was an indirect free kick where the keeper had picked it up from a pass back. He let me take it and I scored. So I always thank him for that.
There you go, Craig Bellamy, gentleman. It was quite hoping a little bit of me that he was going to become our manager.
Yeah,
I was. Yeah.
Fireworks with him. I like. Do you know what? I think he suffers a bit with mental health and things. He's been quite open with things, but he was in his career. You deemed him as like a little flash shit when he was like. That's kind of what he was cocky. He was,
and he was
arrogant. Maybe he beat Reece up with a golf club, didn't he? But like he was fiery. But I think a lot of people talk about him so well, don't they? I think he just wanted to win. He was a born winner, wasn't he? That's exactly what it was.
Roy Keane mentality.
Yeah. But yeah, great player. Unfortunately, didn't quite do it for us. The last segment of our show, I know we're finishing up here very soon. is Beyond the Iron. So we're just going to pick a topic each week to talk about, just on the general scope of football, really. And the one I'm going to speak about today is Gianni Infantino, who is hanging on by a thread. I don't know how this geezer is still in a job. Do you? Like, Ad, you're our England correspondent. What are your thoughts on the FIFA man?
I am.
Yeah, he is.
Our corruption correspondent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how long has FIFA had a figurehead who has been corrupt? You know, it was Seb Blatter before, wasn't it? And just when you think you got rid of him, this
guy's worse,
and he's even worse.
If you ever need proof that it's corrupt at FIFA, no one will go up against this man in terms of challenging his presidency.
Yeah, which is it's quite weird, isn't it?
It's quite gangsterish, mafiaish.
Yeah.
He's the PSG owner. I heard that a lot of people were backing him to challenge Infantino. You know.
Oh, really?
What's his name?
Even the meeting they held today was in Morocco, right? It wasn't at FIFA headquarters. They went to Morocco, obviously a country that's very happy with Infantino because they just got a World Cup. And it's just like, this is absolute ridiculous what this man's doing. It's just like, why? And maybe one of you can explain this to me. Why can't he just be sacked?
I don't know. I don't know.
I literally think he is the biggest head there. That it's just it's not a democracy there kind of thing. Although yes, they get voted in, but it's not a point of where they.
That's what it doesn't make sense, does it? But it's obviously he obviously holds so much money over these countries that they're going, well, we can't do this. But fair play to UEFA for saying,
and the FA,
get him out, and the FA, and the Prime Minister. And I don't think the Prime Minister should really be chiming on it, but fair play to him. He's a football fan, so that's probably why he was asked it. And Luis Figo put an incredible statement out yesterday about it. Like, basically, he was like, "There's like the words are too long that I could explain about Infantino. The only ones we need to hear is Infantino out or something like that." It was just like it was such a strong statement. It's really good to see. Basically, what they're all saying now is that they will not back him on his rehiring, so he could stay in there till next year. Seb Blatter's come out. I thought, like, again, what has it got to do with him? And said he'd like to see a woman in charge or something like that. I don't like.
I bet he would.
I bet. I'd quite like to see Arsene Wenger,
yeah,
a real football man.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get. I don't understand why. I've never understood why the world has to be under FIFA. You know, like everyone said, well, no, we're not doing it. We'll do our own World Cup.
They've also heard David Beckham. I've also heard David Beckham. But I think everything's about David already, isn't it? I wouldn't want him.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think.
I don't really want Wenger.
That's hard to say. It's not that he's not a football man. Because he is, because he's bought two clubs, Salford and thingy, but he's more of a media and a me man, because I think he's doing it for his own gain, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
That's not a dig at him at all. I think Wenger, you would probably say, is a footballing man.
I don't know with Wenger. He's trying to bring, like, he was saying, what was it, last year or the year before? He wants a World Cup every 2 years. There's too much football as it is.
That's the. I'd like someone to actually just say, look, we're stripping it all back.
Yeah.
Like,
start again
Champions
completely.
League, and bring it back, because I think we are losing football to this commercialisation. What is good, though, is it's showing that when football fans come together and actually you realise how powerful we actually are. Because this Infantino's not getting away with what he's done now. That was the last straw. He done the World Cup was an utter piss take with them tickets. Like, it was criminal. Basically, all you could have, it was a wealthy World Cup, because the regular man could not go. Couldn't go to one game. Like, and it's not, and like if you had like families, like, and kids and all that, you wouldn't be going to that World Cup.
No, of course not.
There's not, like, it was so expensive to, I'll put this into perspective as where then it got even more expensive. The tickets were one thing. In Atlanta, the beer was $25 a beer in the stadium. We got a flight from Miami to Atlanta, economy, 2-hour flight, I think it is, just under 2 hours. It was £1,500 each way. Right? Then the hotels, like you weren't staying there. Like I stayed in a nice hotel, but it was not like ridiculous. It was something like $4,000 a night. Like it was insane. Like for $4,000 a night, I'd expect to be staying in the Maldives. You know, like it was. But that World Cup was an utter. Was it good? Yes, in parts, things like that. Like the games were quite good and things like that. But that has got to be stopped. And not, like these fans now talking about like ticket prices. In the Premier League and they're getting more expensive and things like that. I really, really do understand it now. Like it's gone so far, and if people don't unite against this, it's not going to stop, is it? So fans have got to do something, because we are the voice of this game. They don't own it. The corporations do not own football. Anyway, that was our little thing. Please let us know in the comments today your favourite summer signings, and also your thoughts on Infantino as well. I'd like to see football fans across the globe.
And tap water.
That's it. Tap water, drink tap water, and boycott bread baskets. Predictions, just quickly before we go. Portsmouth at home, League Cup. What are we saying?
1-0 West Ham.
1-0.
I agree. 1-0 West Ham.
I'm going to go a draw and then win on pens.
Go,
Win
man.
on pens, first game of the season. Yeah, I love it.
Get a bit of excitement, wouldn't we?
3-0 West Ham. Bowen.
hey.
Go on,
Bowen
boys.
hat-trick. Bowen
Come on, boy.
hat-trick. Come on. Also, let's have a shout-out to Jared Bowen. 2 shout-outs. Jared Bowen for staying with us. What a man.
Amazing.
And Sir Pablo Fornals for what he
Ah,
did.
Pablo.
Love Pablo. Love it.
Pablito.
Miss him.
Do you know what? West
Miss
Ham
him.
fans, I am going to finish on a negative. The amount of people that wanted Pablo Fornals gone from this club. That man has been nothing but an absolute gentleman and a West Ham fanatic who I would love to come back to the club.
Yeah,
I'd
100%.
love us to re-sign him.
Agreed.
And actually, we've never been as good as we were when he was at the team.
No.
So
Underrated. Massively
very
underrated.
underrated. He was.
Very.
By everyone. Like, and that weren't nice. I mess about the West Ham fans, but he loves West Ham, doesn't he?
Oh, that was
But
brilliant
to
last
do
night.
that, what a
Made me so proud.
yeah, what a way to finish. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the new format. I've enjoyed being back, boys. It's nice.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's actually, do you know what? It's quite nice not being negative, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is,
week?
yeah.
Well, there is probably a small reason for that, Sam.
What,
That's 'cause
the
we
game
haven't
ain't
played-
started yet.
We haven't played any games yet.
First, next week. No, out this club. I hate it.
He's a coward.
Gilman. Yeah.
I got
Gilman.
bombed
I'll play
earlier.
Winston back on the phone.